Hi, everybody. I have some helpers here today. This is Minnie. We're going to talk about sleep. Minnie is great at sleeping, so she can teach you all about sleeping. But Minnie is not great at letting you sleep. So some important reminders are having a quiet room, um, turning off the computers before bed, especially the blue lights. So you can get low blue light glasses, but really turning the lights down in the room, stopping the computer and the phone and the screens at least an hour or two before bed, and the importance of a regular bedtime. Fina, do you like a regular bedtime?
No.
And so having a set time to go to bed each night and wake up in the morning and holding consistent to that even in this shelter in place, which is very difficult, is super important for our brain, for our regularity, our rhythm, our cycles. It's going to affect mood and clarity. It's going to affect appetite. It could affect weight and blood sugar balance. These are all very important things. So key points are to limit interruptions in the bedroom. These are all my favorite interruptions, but the cats are kicked out at night. The puppy and the baby can be in the room, but the cats are kicked out at night. They're too disruptive for sleep. And
Oh.
more ideas coming soon. Hi, everybody. Dr. Jen Clemens. I'm back with some helpers, and we're continuing. This is sleep part 2. So just to recap, regularity of schedule is probably the most important thing and what's missing these days with the shelter in place. And some friends and I have been enjoying the jokes about we don't even know what day it is. But the reality is we do know what day it is because the kids have school and we have work at whatever hours we have it. The bedtime needs to stay consistent. Something I always tell people, we were taught in naturopathic medical school, the idea that the hours before midnight are worth twice as many hours after. And in fact, in the learning about the glymphatic, which is very cool, this is the lymph in the brain and the glial cells. When we are deeply asleep, the glymphatic, the brain shrinks a little bit in the good way, and the fluid is able to wash the brain, and growth hormone wants to peak at midnight. If we are not asleep before midnight, my joke is always, housekeeping, and they can't clean the house. So the importance of going to bed at a regular hour, preferably before 9 or 10 at night, minimizing interruptions. So letting the cats go, minimizing caffeine during the day could be important, or later in the day. And acknowledging also this current shelter in place time and the stress, it's all causing us to be distracted and a little on edge. And we need to take extra steps to laugh more, find the humor, find the quiet. Another challenge we're running into as far as sleep impact is waking up at regular times each day. And certainly with my older kids, my teenagers, they would probably sleep all day if we let them. And I have heard this from other parents as well. So yes, there's the school and the Zoom times that they need to get started on. I'm knocking on their door by 10, which is, I think, kind of late because, as I was telling them, if you're sleeping in really, really late and then other mornings you're getting up early, you're kind of putting yourself through jet lag, time zone change almost. And the brain and the body can't get its rhythm of timing, and this can affect a number of things, including the next night's sleep. So really important to try to aim for that regularity of schedule. That helps the body, the brain, the adrenals feel more calm. It's going to help our sleep be better. And then having that waking time is also another cue. And so getting in the habit of maybe having the window cracked a little so we can get the daylight coming in, setting an alarm if we need to. And then when we get up, doing some movement, getting the sun on our face, cueing our body to what time it is. And this is going to help the melatonin and serotonin cycle in the brain. It's going to help our brains work better. It's going to help our mood be better. It's going to help our digestion and our immune system work at its optimal. We need that rest to be as effective as possible. And then we want to be as alert in the day, preferably with less caffeine. We don't want to rely on different things. We want to be able to cue up our body's natural rhythm. So importance of regularity of schedule, minimizing the blue lights. So these are computer screens, or my kids just got these LED lights, which are driving me batty in their rooms. That blue light tells our brain it's daytime, and it interrupts the melatonin cycle. And even now they're showing studies that folks with more melatonin, which really is about better sleep, and this may be one of the reasons that children are generally faring better with COVID, is they naturally have higher levels of melatonin. So you can take it from the outside, but that's not necessarily the same as fostering your own melatonin levels. And that really comes down to regular sleep, improving sleep patterns as best you can. I can write a little blog post. I've started monitoring my sleep with this very cool Aura ring, and I'm finding out I don't have as much REM sleep as I thought, which is really interesting because I consider myself someone who dreams very vividly, very regularly, and yet apparently there's more potential dreaming for me to get into. So more on the Aura ring will be on the blog post. As I'm learning more about it, I'm happy to share that. But the big encouragements for you, the key takeaway right now is regularity of schedule. Secondly is getting that sunlight, that natural light on your face as soon as possible early in the morning. During the winter months, I bought my oldest kid the light box so that you can get the full spectrum light, especially in the northern, farther north in Oregon and in Washington. But we're in Northern California, and she was getting up so early for school and missing that daylight time that just having that full spectrum light while she's doing her makeup in the morning, that 10 minutes or so, can help the brain know, oh, it's morning. But we don't want the brain to think it's morning in the middle of the night. So I was chastising another friend who was posting on Facebook at 3 a.m. when she was waking up, and that's about the worst thing we could do. I learned that the hard way when I was struggling with nursing and being up in the middle of the night. That bright light is going to interfere with our brain knowing when it's sunrise, sunset, where we are in space. We need all of these cues. More about things that can help sleep in the next